What seemed impossible was made possible by the Chingari Gulf Titans taking down the Ganges Grandmasters. And now can the Triveni Continental Kings with their squad do the same? Sagar, they face the upGrad Mumba Masters. What are you expecting?
Yeah, last time it was the upGrad Mumba Masters who came out on top in this encounter, but now it's colors reversed, and this time Triveni Continental Kings would be looking for that big upset here.
Handshakes, 8th game set match.
Yes, we have liftoff here, and MVL begins with the King's Pawn opening, and we have the very famous Berlin, anti-Berlin. Let's see what happens here. This has been seen innumerable times at the top level, but I'm sure that Maxime would have some big prep up his sleeve.
With the knight moving forward, threatening to destroy Black's pawn structure if Black does allow the trade. And I'll be very surprised if Levon Aronian lets Maxime get that in.
Well, Levon's biggest advantage in this position is that he has the 2 bishops.
And
so
he moves
he's
away.
Going to keep that, yes. And he keeps that on the board. But look at Maxime.
And look at the speed with which they're playing. He's just advancing his pawns. This is playing with fire. Pawns do not move backwards. Once you make a move, that pawn has moved forward for the rest of its life, creating weaknesses. This is very direct play by the French Grandmaster.
I don't think, Tanya, he wants those pawns behind. He wants to go all out there. Maybe he'll push his H-pawn as well.
Harry the H-pawn down the board. Harry the G-pawn is already up the board. Harry the H-pawn is about to advance. Will Maxime go all in with his kingside pawns? But you have to be careful.
Yeah, I don't think he will. He will, because if he pushes his Harry pawn, Black would also push it forward, and I don't think that would be a good news for
White's king here.
For the king, yeah.
But right now it's such a big fight for the Triveni Continental Kings because they are in the race to make it to the grand final. And these are the boards that are on. We do see that on that top left board. Pawns marching down the board, and this is a good time to bring in the one and only Master Swidler to give us his thoughts on what's happening across the boards.
Yeah, I've had a brief look. There's a number of very, very sharp positions, but so far I think I'm liking upGrad Mumba Masters' chances, because I think they got sort of what they wanted out of the opening. MVL on board 1, I think, got the first opening surprise in against Levon. Levon is now finally thinking, and MVL is actually up time from his starting time. He's at almost 16.5 minutes. I like Alexander Grishik's position on board too. I think he got a very favorable, quiet but favorable position. I like a very sharp Sicilian Sindarov got against Bier. There's plenty of play left, of course, but so far it looks to me as if the upGrad Mumba Masters are getting exactly the fight they wanted.
And let's bring up our board number 6 between these two prodigies. We've got Sindarov from Uzbekistan and Jonas. These two players, they've got a long history, and they will continue to, of course, have big rivalry through the years. And why is this crazy, Sagar? This position, why does it catch your attention?
Well, first of all, if you look at the white pawns, they are all pushed in the king side. However, Black has also pushed his pawns on the queen side. And so it's going to be which side is able to break through first. Look at the Black rook also behind its own pawn.
Yeah, this is a race, an F1 situation towards each other's king. Black's king in the center, White's king under fire. The C line is open, and you mentioned a key point that all Black wants when you want to attack your opponent's king is open those files. Open those files as quick as you can, and the one move that really strikes here is push that pawn, break open the pawn structure in front of your opponent's king. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, I mean, you open something up, and then you get your pieces into attack. However, the problem for Black is that even after, let's say, you take the pawn and the rook comes in, it's only one piece. Meanwhile, if you look at it, White has many pieces in the center. Already on the 4th rank, the knight is there. The king has already castled.
He's going to play b4. He's going to push this pawn.
Yeah, he's going to do that.
What do you think, Sagar? If you had to bet in this position, playing with the black pieces, do you think we're going to see b4 by Jonas, or will he play something more solid?
Maybe he could also develop his bishop, which is not developed on the king side, and just finish it off. And but he goes b4. Yes, he's going for the attack there, opening up few lines against the white king. Right.
Let's zoom out for a moment, get a bird's eye view up and take a look at all the action that's happening. What catches your attention? What is going on that top left board?
Whoa, we need to go there on the icon board between MVL and Aronian, because over there it seems like the white pawn has moved all the way to the 6th rank.
And look at the two players. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave looking confident. He's looking away right now, and now both with their head in hands. Levon Aronian totally focused. Levon is down to 10 minutes. Maxime almost the time he started with.
It feels like Maxime is the guy who's giving the questions to Levon, and Levon has to think on the spot for the answers because Maxime has come prepared.
And there we have it, Sagar. What do you make of the body language right now?
I think this is the game where Yu Yangi is going to be very determined, because it was his loss last time which led to his team losing to the upGrad Mumba Masters. I like Grishchuk's position mainly because his bishop that is there in the center is very active, while the black bishop on the queen side is a little bit blocked by its own pawn.
We did have this trivia of the day earlier. What is a bad bishop? A bad bishop is one which is blocked by a friendly pawn. In this position, we see that what black really wants is to pick up this pawn, chuck it out of the board, open that bishop so that it can fire down the board. But of course, that's an illegal move to make. So we like white's chances because you've got the bishop pair. But is it enough? And I think the person to answer this is Master Swidler. Master Swidler, we want to check in with you. Can, with it, create something real out of this position?
This is a very typical situation where we have a symmetrical or somewhat symmetrical pawn structure with 4 on the king side, 2 on the queen side for both sides. But Vidit has 2 bishops against a bishop and knight, and it's not easy to win, but it's incredibly unpleasant to defend. And it generally takes you a very, very long time to defend, because there's very little you can do to actually improve here as black. You just have to wait, be patient, and try not to commit any further mistakes. I would say it's maybe 70-30 in favor of a draw of Vidit winning, but it's definitely something that can be won with the white pieces, and also it's definitely going to be enjoyed by Vidit.
Very nice insights there. Thank you, Master Swidler, for that.
For the Triveni Continental Kings, it's so important to win this match, Sagar, to keep their dreams alive.
Absolutely, yes. They have to keep going here, and they need to actually beat their opponents. And right now, Humpy is actually a pawn up here. While it might not be easy to keep that pawn, because you see the black rook is right, very active, facing that pawn, and it might be not so simple. But I think, Tanya, it is definitely something to press for here.
It's an extra pawn.
Yes.
And for now, it's alive. As long as the extra pawn remains alive, if anyone is going to try, it has to be white. But it's all about Katerina Lhano and her piece activity. We also see black's knight always eyeing a check here. You have to watch out for that. Currently, there's a pin along the diagonal. The bishop stopping the pawn from advancing down the board. It looks like Katerina has got her defense. And notice the clocks. Lhano with almost 14 minutes and Humpy down to 2 minutes.
Wow, that means Lhano might be well prepared, and this pawn sacrifice line might have been played by her for equality. Also, do not forget that the bishops are of opposite color. Black has a dark squared bishop while white has a light squared bishop. So if the knights come off the board, then the chances of this going into a drawn endgame even increase further.
We've got another superstar board with Dronavalli Harika taking on Sara Khadem there, and that board there is a lot happening. We see with that last move, Harika has put pressure on Sara's queen. Let's bring up our analysis board and do a deep dive into this one. A big threat on the board.
Yeah, the queen is hanging, and Tanya, just spare a thought for Sara, right? She just got to know yesterday night that she would be playing today, and she has to get right in and play there. I think it's so difficult if you're not mentally prepared, and facing all these top players like Harika would never be easy.
Chess is such an inner game, and psychologically it's so demanding that it is a very difficult situation for Sara. One, jumping in at this moment, not being in the flow, the rhythm of playing, and also the news is, as you mentioned, that she shared on Twitter, a difficult time for her family right now. this is a tough board for the Triveni Continental Kings.
I'm sure that if Black could somehow complete her development, if Sara could get her bishop out, which is right now just lying there, then she might be fine. But that's a long, long way away. And I feel like this is going in upGrad Mumba Masters' favor. I wouldn't say Harika is winning or something, but definitely very pleasant position she has. Tanya, we have a result already on board number 4. Humpy and Katrina Lagno have drawn their game, which is actually good news for, I don't know whom both. I mean, Humpy was a pawn up.
I think it's a fair result.
Yeah, fair result.
Because Humpy had an extra pawn, Lano had the piece activity. That one ends peacefully. Let's quickly go back to the action that's on.
That's a big result there. I mean, on board number 1, we already have a result incoming, which is that MVL and Levon Aronian have drawn their game. And that's why the score currently stands at 2-2 in this match. But Tanya, it seems like with Grishchuk winning, with it slightly better, and Harika also winning, upGrad Mumba Masters are in firm control in this match.
Yeah, something has to go very right now for the Triveni Continental Kings.
And with it Gujarati, what has just happened there on board number 3? Let's have a very quick... Oh, it's a draw. So the score is still 3-3. The match is evenly poised. The score is 3-3. Of course, evenly poised just by scores, because by position, Sindarov is winning, Harika is winning, and Sindarov knows that he's got the job done.
Because you can't fight it. If you try to go back with your knight blocking the rook, guess
Still a
what?
check.
You open the bishop instead, and now the white queen steps in with a checkmate. In any case, this is game over. There is just no way to hide from the mate unless you give huge material, sacrificing your own queen, surviving for another move. And he goes back with the rook, creating a square for the king, loses a pawn, loses the knight, will lose the game.
Absolutely. I think Tanya... Oh, there he resigns, and I think a huge win there for the upGrad Mumba Masters. The score is now 6-3. Sorry, 6-3 in the favor of upGrad Mumba Masters. Such a clinical performance by the team, right? No one lost their game.
No one lost the game, and instead controlling not just the scoreline. On every game, it was the upGrad Mumba Masters who were pushing for the win here.
Absolutely.
Having the edge out of the opening. And there we see handshakes, and Harika with a sigh of relief. She knows she's done it again for the team. And this time taking another 3 points. And wow, that's 2 wins for the upGrad Mumba Masters. Sagar, we have 1 game remaining.
Yes, 1 game remaining with Alexander Grishchuk playing against Yu Yangi, and he instantly takes the draw because he knows he doesn't need to play. He just tells, why did I play that move? Rookie 5. But anyway, I think Alexander Grishchuk played a brilliant game today, Tanya. The final score line is the score being 10-4. That is the score.
4 draws and 2 wins with the white pieces. The upGrad Mumba Masters strike up on the leaderboard. Sagar, amazing play by them. What was the game of the match for you? And look at that, the team's happy and celebrating. The captain with Maxime Vacher-Lagrave and Koneru Humpy on all both. Amazing play here.
Fantastic play. It also goes to show that if your team is in good spirit, then good results come on the board. They had a good time yesterday.